Here we go. So everybody, we will get Andy back in when he does, but welcome this evening to the West Brom versus Argyle, Plymouth Argyle post-match analysis on the Block 9 podcast with myself, Michael Edwards, the Crazy Pilgrim, as it says at the top there, and also down here we've got Carl, the Green Giant, and we would have Andy, the Grumpy Loyal. Oh, there he is. He's coming back in now, but he seems to be having technical issues, so... it looks like Andy's going down as often as Anthony Joshua did last night.
I'll get down, but I'll get up again, you know what I mean? Joshua's still on the deck, mate.
Right, so we are... yes, folks, you're going to get all the sound effects again. That's just my style. That's the way we like to do it. Thank you to everybody, first of all, that is joining us so far. Please tap the screen away and build up those likes, and appreciate any gifts that anybody wants to drop by as well. So we'll get ready to go. So the game yesterday. So myself, Carl and Andy, for the first time, watched it round my house. We were doing a bit of a watch along. Obviously, we weren't streaming the game, but... we were watching it via the VPN methods with Argyle TV. And do you know what? It was good until when we lost the signal for the start of the second half, thanks to Virgin Broadband, not sponsored by. And then eventually we got into it. I think we lost about 10 minutes. And it seemed to be, from what we could hear, sort of Argyle started off the second half really well as well. But it was... above all else, frustrating and disappointed to lose, but it was a fantastic game, end to end. Argyle definitely played better in the first half than, say, we did against Sunderland. West Brom probably had the best of the chances, hitting the woodwork 3 times. So we were lucky, we rode our luck, but we still had also some chances ourselves. So, going into that sort of half-time, feeling quite positive. We had, sort of control of the game in spells. West Brom didn't look like the flowing play and style that they were used to, which even Dino said himself in his post-match video. And in the second half, what turned out to be just a well-played goal, really, from West Brom, but I felt Argyle just got caught out there, and the ball, smashed along the box in front of the goal, and just a tap in for Madja, who's the highest scorer in the league so far at the moment. And that was just frustrating, because just a momentary lapse of probably a bit of tiredness, lapse of concentration. And we should have walked away with a point, but we couldn't get back into the game after that. A couple of late chances, but unfortunately we couldn't muster it. So West Brom go on to win another game and sit there proudly at the top of the league. Carl, it was good to watch it round here with all of us, while we were streaming it, and there was that moment where, with Bundu shot, you and Andy screamed, and I was like, hang on, I don't think it's in, and it wasn't, sadly. But what was your take on the performance in the game yesterday?
Well, I must say, we're all pretty jet-lagged, aren't we, after getting back from LA early this morning. We've all got a lovely tan, and you can't see mine yet. But yeah, the game was, not as expected, because I thought we were going to be under the cosh for a lot of the game. So the way we came out, the way we looked really composed on the ball, we were passing through the thirds really well. The possession overall was obviously quite fair as well, 49 to West Brom and 51 to us. Yeah. We didn't just disgrace ourselves at all, and obviously all the West Brom fans thinking they were going to turn up and give us a right hammering. It didn't come to fruition, which was good on our part. But yeah, really positive performance again against another top team, and probably on another day we would have come out of it with a draw. We got a bit lucky, obviously, with all their shots that hit the post, especially in the first half. But there's lots of positives to come out of that one.
I think yes, we did ride our luck a little bit, and I was just replying to Tom James Smith on there, where on another day all those shots would have gone in, and there's questions I want to ask later about the defence and whether or not Argyle are just getting lucky, and or are we sort of actually defending well, which I do feel it's certainly the latter.
Luck.
Yeah, I mean, you had Whittaker's effort as well, which was probably the best in the first half for Argyle, Andy. But unusually for Whittaker, I just felt his shooting was just off. It just didn't feel like his usual self with his shooting yesterday.
No, it's been off for a while, mate, to be fair. I mean, that goal against QPR he scored was, he had to hit it twice. He missed the first time. And I think that, that second shot on frustration just, he just hit it basically, didn't he? And I think he's a bit frustrated at the minute, Morgan. he's coming back too deep. I just thought yesterday we were inviting play on from West Brom, and it could have been a lot worse if it weren't for the woodwork and some good saves. But yeah, well, he needs a goal, doesn't he?
Yeah, obviously he scored a cracking volley against Sunderland. I think the issue for, and I've seen a few comments on Twitter about people sort of feeling, although I shouldn't say that word, people feeling like, people are getting on his case. And it's not so much that. His work rate is fantastic. We'll come on to him a bit more later, but he did have that brilliant chance that you'd normally think, and he earned that chance by getting the ball off the defender who made a mistake. But yeah, above all else, I think in the first half, if we look at it, there was a couple of changes, wasn't there? Hardy came in for Obafemi, Forshaw came in for Callum Wright, and I felt that as soon as we saw that team sheet, we were very much of the feeling like, oh, okay, he's going to play it a little bit safe in the first half, and I think it was very well sort of structured in terms of game management. They sort of didn't try and go hell for leather, but we still tried to attack. So, like you say, a bit of inviting the pressure, but we were playing that carefully, and then we got the counter moves going on again. But so it was back end to end, but our quality again in that final third was really showing where it was missing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I posted on Face Nerd earlier on. I won't say that. I posted on there. I thought we're getting improved. We're improving every week. We're improving in our play, and the play was good yesterday. I thought we were in parts the better team for a lot of that, not all of it, because West Brom sort of came out sort of 25 minutes in the second half and really had a go at us and put us under the cosh. And it just looked like it could have been, a cricket score. But thankfully, I'll say it was a few hits of post and stuff and misses and stuff, and really they should have put the game to bed really early on. So yeah, this comment I made. And I got a reply back from it saying, a pint of what you're having or something like that. And it's like, what? This is Argyle, really. We're playing well. We are improving. I think it's going to click in a minute. We're just going to get someone up front to bag the goals in. I don't think Obafemi was the right start for me. I think Hardy should have started and Obafemi came on. Yeah.
But he did start with Hardy, or you?
Oh no, sorry, other way around. Sorry, yeah, Obafemi started with Hardy coming on. Yeah.
Just to clarify, I think those chilies are going to his head.
Yesterday, guys, there was a big bag of flaming hot chilies, right, in Dorito crisps, and Carl Barnard had 2 of them. And I've got to say, the crazy pilgrim didn't have any at all.
He didn't. At least I tried them.
I'm not stupid. So yeah, thanks everybody who's coming in and joining us tonight and putting comments down. Please share your thoughts on the guides, and where I can myself will reply. So look, I think if we sort of sum up the performance overall yesterday, we've just played Sunderland, who were top of the table when we played them and beat them 3-2. They'd only conceded 1 goal, I think it was, before that, and then obviously West Brom, who overtook them after the win against Portsmouth before playing us. So then we're playing the next team that were top of the league in that instance yesterday, and still are now, obviously, as a result, and only conceded a couple of goals. So, you're going into it and you're away from home. The advantage is definitely going to be with the Baggies. And you're just almost like, I walked away frustrated because of the fact that we really should have taken a point there. And at half-time, I sort of said in the Thursday night preview, I felt there was going to be a few goals going on, in this game, a bit like Sunderland. And then at half-time, I turned to Carl and Andy and said, I think only 1 goal is going to win this now. It just felt like that sort of game where, brilliant attacking play from both, but just chances not being taken. And obviously, sadly, I was proven right, and that chance fell to Maja, who slotted at home very easily. So, it was frustrating. But look, to sort of see where we've come from, and we've stressed this in every session that we've done, sort of after that 4-0 defeat to Wednesday, who only are they just sitting above us in the table now?
Below us, I think.
Below us, sorry, down at that bottom end. And there's constant evolving and improving, and the team, working well together. And, I think for me, you can't walk away from that thinking, oh yeah, Rooney still hasn't got a clue in this league and stuff like that. We're going to be very dangerous once it does all click. And so, fingers crossed, against Luton, who obviously got their second win on the trot, that play us Friday night on Sky Television. that we can show in that game at home that, we can pick these chances away. And I think Haj is going to be crucial to that. And Carl, I think he's got to start Friday. Rooney has said he's now ready to start post-match yesterday. So, yeah, what do you think he'll bring if he starts a game for us?
Yeah, he's got to come in on Friday. I know that means Callum Wright, Andy's secret love child, will have to drop. But yeah, we need to get him involved. He showed some decent touches when he came off the bench yesterday. He looks like he wants to, get on the attack quite quickly, and looks like he's got a trick or two. But that's what we're kind of missing. And it's a shame for Callum, because I wanted him to kind of get some minutes and get some chances this season. Yeah, because he played really well at the back end of last season, didn't he? When obviously after Foster left us, and he really showed what he could do. I just still think this league is too much for him. So I think, having Rami taken his place, I think we should see some more chances created, and hopefully try and be a bit more clinical. And if he can play some balls through to Hardy or Obafemi, which obviously Obafemi didn't get yesterday, which we all were quite angry that Randall didn't play the through ball to him. I think if he got given that, he was probably one-on-one and might have took his chance. But I think Obafemi again needs time himself as well, to ease his way into the team. But it's the same for Hardy, isn't it? They can only do what they do if they get service.
Yeah, and I think that could be the interesting one on Friday. Is if would you sort of try a 4-4-2 and put Hardy and Obafemi up front and have still Sissoko and Whittaker playing forward with Rami Al-Haj and Randall and that in the middle? I think that could be an interesting combination. Sorry,
it's an option, but I don't think Rooney's going to change formation. I think he's quite rigid in his formation at the moment, and I think he's getting closer to knowing his first 11. So I think he'll carry on with the formation for the time being.
Yeah, and I think just listening to reading what Mark Holdnell has just said. To be fair, the Championship is the best league, and anyone can beat anyone in this league on their day. And I think that's as my son makes an absolute racket deliberately. I think that I've said this every sort of session that we've done. And that's, again, I'm going to use that example Marcus gave the other night. Wednesday 4-0 beat us, Sunderland beat them 4-0, we beat Sunderland 3-2. So it's sort of, yes, it's great if you're at that top end, but as teams know, even from last season, things can change very, very quickly. And, people will argue that West Brom haven't had the strongest of teams and opponents at the start of the season, but it doesn't matter because every game's important, so you just got to win what you can win, and they're doing that at the moment. So it's fair play to them. If we've got any Baggies fans in, I know there's the odd one that's giving some banter. I can see at the moment, but we'll happily have someone come on if they're going to be sensible and talk. Dino can't do that tonight, as I said earlier, who was on our preview the other day. So going into the chances that Argyle had, there were after a spell of play from sort of West Brom, Argyle then sort of came back with that Whittaker effort, as I said, which was unusual for him. You felt that he would have picked that away. And then JB, just outside the box, with a shot as well. It was just like, just couldn't quite grasp a goal in that first half. But the signs were there, weren't they, Andy?
Yeah, definitely. I say we played a lot higher up the pitch, and then we just decided that we wanted to revert to defending all the time and sitting too deep. But we certainly had chances. I think Hardy had a couple in there as well, didn't he? And certainly that shot by JB was a cracking shot, and I thought the follow-up was going to go in, but I think the angle was too tight for Sissoko. So we definitely had chances. We definitely gave Albion a game, and I went into Dino's live before the game yesterday. And I heard all these Baggies fans in the background rightly saying, we're going to win 3-4-0, And they really fancied their chances getting a 4 or 5-0 against us. And I don't think we were outplayed at all. I think we gave them a really good game yesterday. So we can be really pleased by that.
Yeah, I mean, Scoot755 has just said in the chat, Albion fan here, evening mate, welcome to the live. Argyle played well and possibly the best team we played this season. I've seen those comments equally on on other platforms, and it does to a degree away from home, sort of ring back to the Schumacher sort of games under him away, where we did go out and we were attacking at times, we just couldn't take our chances and sort of in a lot of cases came away with not getting any points. So similar sort of circumstances there. But yeah, it was a great game of football, that yesterday. And, for me, again, it's signs there. We always know, and we spoke about it on Thursday, the budgets that we have and the players that we can afford to bring in, we're not going to bring off the quality like, West Brom were able to on Saturday. And the changes that they made early, I think there was one change early, if I recall, which, made a difference, and then when we brought 3 of our players on sort of later on in the game, I felt that sort of swung it a bit. West Brom seemed to sort of sit back and just move the ball around. They were frustrating us as well with doing that. We couldn't really get the ball, could we, at times? And when we did, again, we were caught like looking for a pass. But the subs did sort of the last sort of 10 minutes, or so, we did start to sort of get a few chances. But yeah, it was just.
I think Albion found out, Mike, that we were giving them a good game there, and so they brought their sort of some good players on, and I think for that 25 minutes it was just constant Albion coming at us, and I thought, they wanted to put it to bed, and they couldn't put it to bed. So it was one of those.
Exactly.
Game.
Exactly, So for us, I think it's good signs going in. Like we said at half time, I just felt my confidence in there's going to be goals in this game. It's not, and I mean. The thing for me, and sort of, I'm sure you both have seen the goal back, in the second half. And we don't know because we couldn't see the stream at the time because of Virgin Media, but it seemed to indicate on Soccer Saturday that Argyle had a very good start to the second half. Thanks for that, Philip, for the roses. But it possibly, I think, whether or not Argyle burnt themselves out a little bit, they did look a little bit tired because they were. I didn't pick up the name of the player, and sorry for that. If anybody knows, please tell me. But the link-up play on the right with the player getting past number and slotting it into the player that ran into the space, and then I think it was Zooks, wasn't it, and Edwards. When the ball was hit across and it just went flying past to Maggio, just tapped it in. And just that one switching off for that one moment proved really costly, didn't it, Carl?
Like it does in most games, isn't it? It's very fine margins in this league. Obviously, in League One, you'd get a few of those chances, which you probably get away with, but it only takes these strikers and these teams, having one opportunity to get the goal. So it's disappointing. We probably could have did better with defending for that one, but with the amount of shots we got lucky with on the post, I think it evens itself out. So it's disappointing, but overall, something that we can try and work at.
Yeah, absolutely. Just seeing in there, Mark as well saying you're 2 to 3 strong players away from a good side, and that that is the sort of case. We were hoping for Beidou to join us in the January window. He would have probably for a few million quid would have been an interesting transfer for us and exciting, but it didn't come off. And someone noted in here, I think it was Drew. Rooney's probably got his eyes on 2 or 3 players for January, but look, the players that we've got, considering how long some of them have been with us, coming up through League One and even League Two and stuff, is testament that we are trying to compete and fight in this league. So elsewhere in the sort of second half, I think we mentioned the substitutions. Bundu's shot right at the death, which is what nearly sent Carl and Andy through my upstairs floor when they jumped up for joy, and it was just like, no, he's in it wide. Bundu, I don't know. I'm not sort of really sure. We said it yesterday, didn't we, Carl? Where is he going to fall in this squad, and what's he going to do? But he didn't look brilliant apart from that shot, in my opinion. Do you agree?
Like you say, it's where we fit him in at the moment. Obviously, he came on and he only really had that shot, which we all thought was going in at one point, didn't we? Because he went off the sofa. But looking back at the replay, it was quite a bit of distance off. But especially if Rami's coming into the team now, obviously Sissoko is going to be a regular. He's going to be limited to coming off the bench for many games, which might suit him better maybe, but I haven't really seen enough from him to suggest he's going to be a regular starter. So I think coming off the bench might be his role this season for us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Andy, your thoughts?
I'm just reading what Blaz is writing there.
What's he Pete?
I think I should have some more Carolina Reaper. No, thank you.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Do you know, I don't think it was a sort of game for him yesterday, Bundu.
Say again.
Just for you, Blaz. I don't think Bundu fit in that game yesterday. I don't think he brought much threat to us, to West Brom yesterday. He had that one shot that he tried to curl and just, fairly wide. But, yeah, I don't know where he fits. I really don't. I think, Al Haj has got to be the sort of option if anyone's going to come to the side and stay there.
Yeah, I think so.
Falco, you're welcome for the 3 points, mate. It wasn't an easy 3 points, though, was it, mate?
Yes,
you made you fight for it.
I had to make you work for it, that's for sure. So, look, I sort of think... I think in, we are just, some sort of, little sort of tweaks away, the sort of confidence in front of goals. I was consciously watching Sissoko, and what he was doing at times. He sort of held onto the ball a bit too long, but then there wasn't really a player to give it to either. Also, Rooney seems hell-bent on taking Sissoko off at the sub changes, which sort of, when you consider the threat that he poses, he can't surely be down to match fitness now with Sissoko, is it? Needing to take him off, Carl? I mean, what would you have kept him on the pitch, or would you have taken him off?
No, hands down. I think he needs to stay on for 90 minutes. I don't think he's lacking in fitness. He's had enough game time to build himself up. It seems strange why he always seems to be the one that comes off. I think he stayed on for a bit longest he has so far this season at 70 minutes, though, wasn't it? I think the substitution was made. Yeah. So maybe game by game he'll stay on for a little bit longer, maybe. But
I think he was getting marked out game, really.
With his threat down the left, I think you need to keep him on as long as possible.
Yeah.
Andy just saying that, he's getting marked. I mean, Whittaker's definitely the one that opposition have targeted, which, then does end up with that frustrating situation for Whittaker. I mean, there was a couple of times, certainly when Callum Wright was on, I think I remember it was either yourself, Carl, or Andy saying, look, I think it was actually you, Carl, was like, Callum Wright was almost trying to tell Whittaker to go down the right, to pass it into space, and he wouldn't. And then obviously it ended up sort of changing the style of play. So you sort of, it's how we can change things up a bit to sort of take the pressure off Whittaker so we can bring him more into the game. Sissoko absolutely is going to get marked as well, Andy, you're right, and does get marked. He's certainly better at taking players on when he's not running with the ball. And as we've said, and was proven in the second half against Sunderland, he's still got to get a ball in early. But a couple of times Whittaker tried to sort of dribble past a defender or two. He struggled with, but he cut inside. But like I said, his radar was clearly off for whatever reason yesterday, and he just couldn't get those shots away. So I think it is going to come. I think with Rami Al Haj, starting as MB, as put in the comments, evening MB, welcome back. Thanks again for joining us. Rooney said something in post match about the fact that he is now able to start a game. So I think that's what we're going to see on Friday, and I want to see how well that works for Whittaker. If he's going to be the Cesar's replacement. The only thing I would say is I didn't think when he was on yesterday that he was as influential or impactful as he looked even for the short time against Sunderland, Andy, with Rami. And that could have just been because of the way the game was sort of going for us, probably.
Yeah, it's he's going to be one of those players. They've probably been watching the game against Sunderland. I mean, we just played the two top teams in the league, one after the other. And so they were going to probably be watching that Sunderland game and thinking, crumbs, this bloke's a threat as well. So, if you're going to get good players on your side like Whittaker, like Al Haj, or like Sissoko, they're going to get marked out of the game, mate. They're going to have players on them. So there was no surprise there. I just think he's still getting that match fitness is not quite there. He's nearly there, but it's going to be interesting to see him develop in the next couple of weeks, and especially if there's anything else coming in January, and see how we get on. May's West Bromwich Albion fan. Thanks for the comment.
absolutely, gave us a game, to be fair. And that's what you want. You do want your team to turn up and give it a shot, and being away at home, absolutely. So as already has been said, one of the best teams that's played at the Hawthorns this season. It's only been 6 games or whatever it is now, but that's still good to know that we are improving, and all those doubters, for Rooney that are still out there. Guys, please keep on tapping and liking the screen. If you can, be the 12th man and share the live so we can get a few more people in. We appreciate everybody that's joined us tonight and is staying with us. So one of the other changes, we sort of discussed a little bit about Hardy, and I want to pick up a little bit more on him but in a minute. But Forshaw obviously started. I'm a big fan of Forshaw, and it's not because I sort of look like him, nowhere near as fit or as young as him, I will add. But as I sort of expected, I thought he was solid. A bit like JB, he was back. He always comes back to help defend Forshaw, but he was also getting forward. And I think we are a little bit more sort of game management is a little bit better because he's a smart, intelligent player, so he doesn't rush a pass, on the game. So I thought he did all right coming on yesterday. Carl, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he had one of his better games for us this season. Obviously, we won't talk about the QPR game because, that was just diabolical what he did. But yeah, he really was quite good yesterday. I think away from home in the big games, I think his experience will come quite nicely in the midfield because obviously if we start with two youngsters in there with Adam and Randall and JB, they might get overrun. So having him in there as a cool head is probably a good idea. And yeah, he was quite good yesterday. He sprayed the ball around. He broke up play. As far as I know, he didn't get a yellow card, which was good. I think playing him at home might not be the answer. I think for home games we need to be on the front foot, which then he probably wouldn't fit into. But
I think that's where Haj will probably come in and be effective there.
Probably his role, to be fair. And he was good.
Yeah, I mean, although to be fair, when Forshaw has played at home, if you park the QPR game, for me, he's done.
Yeah, he's done okay at home, but I'm just saying, if you want to be on the front foot at home, then I think you've got better options.
Oh, I think, I'm agreeing with you. Just saying, when he's played, that's why it was a shame about the QPR game, and it wasn't a surprise seeing him, sort of start against West Brom. Just sort of going back quickly on a couple of comments as a Burnley fan, Andy K. Wood, good evening, mate. Thanks for coming on. Saying that, we were linked to Whittaker. Just going back to him quickly, didn't know much about him. Someone also said in the comments, is he being sort of disruptive with the transfer talks going on? I honestly don't think so. I think he's just desperate to really start making his mark again and possibly overdoing it and getting himself a little bit frustrated when it isn't quite going for him, and I'm sure it will come good. GD92, good evening, welcome back in to this live, mate. Forshaw was very good out of possession and good on the press, but at home we're a bit one-dimensional. And I think, as Carl and I just said, if we mix that up with Haj, I mean, Randall as well, who was sort of probably the man of the match from Argyle's point of view yesterday, had a solid performance. I know Errington gave him man of the match. He's just grown and grown with each game, which is fantastic. Sarah Taylor, hey, Plymouth fan. Good evening, welcome to the live. Guys, if you're not already following, you've got myself, the Crazy Pilgrim. I do welcome to the live. Guys, if you're not already following,
hello.
You've got myself, the Crazy Pilgrim. I do welcome to the live. Guys, if you're not already following, Right, I just muted him. Andy having technical issues all night tonight. But anyway, yes, you've got myself. You've got Andy, the grumpy loyal, who's there. So give him a follow, and Carl, the green giant. I was hoping to get Harvey on. To be fair, I forgot to WhatsApp him just to see if he was able to make it or not. He was at the game yesterday, but he's not here at the moment. But yes, we're going to bring you the pre-matches and the post-match analysis of games as the Blockline podcast on my channel. We do have also other platforms, let's just say, and also if you go into my profile and about, you'll see a link there that will tell you where else we are. But yes, we're on all major podcast platforms, and obviously the biggest video streaming platform. The reason why I'm not mentioning their names is because TikTok's algorithm will affect the audience if you do that. So but keep tapping the screen, guys, on the likes, and if you want to gift would be much appreciated, as always. Carl, are you still there?
I'm still there, yeah.
Carl's still there. He's just very quiet. So I think, is Andy frozen? Oh, no, is he moving in the background there?
Carl, you need to mute, mate. I think it's you.
There we go. So you're back on. So Andy sorted out his background reverb. Fletch, can you rank the South Coast teams? Not sure what you're on about with that.
Yeah, rank the Southwest teams.
Possibly then, yeah. Just like in what sense? There's only one team in the Southwest. The Jano, I thought our high press worked well for us yesterday. Yeah, it did, and it's just tightening up that sort of ability to get into the right spaces at the right time. Which, you know, Hardy's brilliant at his work, great closing down defenders and sort of trying to run onto a ball. He doesn't have the pace that Obafemi has. I don't disagree, you know, with the fact that Obafemi, when he came on yesterday, wasn't great, which is why it'd be interesting to sort of try and mix that up a little bit with those two. West Brom till I die, 1-0 with the old, so you were lucky you got away with it. We're always going to get those that come in and want to give a bit of banter, but we can live with that for sure. West Brom supporter just joined. What's your opinion on West Brom? I think what's going to be clear to those that have seen us play against Sunderland and then yourselves is that, yeah, you know, you can beat the top teams if you're at the lower end of the table this early in the season. If you're prepared to commit and press, you know, West Brom normally love that fluid and fast-moving, flowing football. You know, and as Dean was telling us, Dino talks football. He's a West Brom fan. You know, and we did sort of, you know, stop you from doing that. You know, and if teams are prepared to sort of take a bit more commitment away from home, you know, with better, you know, in the greatest respect to our team, but with better squad players, you know, that some of these clubs have with the money that they've been spending, the chances are there. I think every game you should go into and be a bit cautious, especially away, but should try and have a bit of a go. Disrupt the opposition. Don't let them play the style that they'd like to play. But
I think West Brom are going to be up there this season, though. I think they've made some decent acquisitions, and obviously Madge's set the league alight so far. He's always been a decent player for me. And obviously they got one of the league's probably the best managers as well. He's probably turned down a few jobs recently, or especially in the summer. So I think if they can keep hold of him and keep going as they are, I think they'll be knocking on the Premier League door once again.
Andy, I didn't even notice you dropped back out again. What's going on?
I was trying to sort of let Blaz in because Blaz had a request up there, and I tried to let him in. And every time I did that, I got this echo. But I'm back again.
Dear.
Did you miss me?
He's obviously still working on dial-up. So Blaz, good evening. How are we doing? Did you watch the game in any way or listen to it?
I watched it.
Go on.
I watched it. It was a bit disappointing seeing us not get a point. I thought not getting anything from the game, but I feel like we did play very well.
Yeah, exactly. It's positives, isn't it? And I mean, Marcus just said about, you know, where's the comment? Just saying that the way we're playing is like a mid-table team, not a relegation team. You know, so apart from obviously the game against Sheffield Wednesday. So I think Rooney is definitely sort of keeping you know, those people quiet at the moment, isn't he, Blaz? That just expected us to be absolutely trash from the get-go. Well, from even after the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you short on words tonight, Blaz? Have you talked yourself out all weekend as well?
No, I've just got a bit of a sore throat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Andy also had a sore throat after divulging that massive packet of Doritos.
It wasn't just a sore throat he had either, Mike.
So,
I think young Blaz is filling up. Papa John's chili oil.
Oh dear.
Learning Ring of Fire.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, a bit of a Star Trek there. If anybody pick that one up.
If it gets all over, it is now. Anyway.
Well, at half-time, we did consider our options.
Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
We had that one yesterday as well for a bit of fun. Come on, I'm all full of the sound effects. MB's put a good point in here, and that is TJ. So I did have that down on my notes for the players. He's been absent the past few games, hasn't he? And there's sort of, is he injured? Is he annoyed Rooney? Don't know what's going on there. But, you know, I think Yeah, will he get into the squad? And also is Xhaka, obviously his red card situation, I believed he was able to play if Rooney wanted him to against Sunderland, but he was missing. And as a player that can come on and tear through defences with his pace, I'm just surprised not to see him on. Maybe we had too many defensive options on that bench. Do you reckon we'll see something of TJ on Friday and maybe even a Xhaka on the subs bench this Friday, Carl?
I'd like to see TJ even coming into the squad. It just seems a bit strange, for me. He looked quite promising when we signed him, and looking at some of his show reels and him wanting to come in because Rooney was his idol when he was growing up. And he looked quite good in pre-season. He got a couple of goals, didn't he? Against Cheltenham, he looked quite strong and up for it. The Sheffield Wednesday game, everyone was poor. You can't blame him for that because the whole squad were terrible in that game. But then he disappeared. Then he had an injury. Then he came back against, was it Hull? And then he was out of the squad again against Stoke. He wasn't in the squad again yesterday. It seems very strange. I don't know whether it is an injury or there's just some kind of attitude problem, which has been mentioned a few times, which wouldn't surprise me. Because I think when he came off the bench against... I think it was Hull, when he didn't get played in, he threw his arms up and he looked really angry that he didn't get the ball. Yeah. So there could be a bit of truth in that, but... I mean,
MB's just put in the comments, saw players and staff I know on the way back at services, and he will be back in contention soon. So I'm guessing he's just taken a knock, and that's possibly...
I think it could be vital.
Yeah, Mark is saying, you're doing any more lives on the match day, even with the teething problems? I think yes is probably the answer to that. We'll probably equally jump around, so we'll probably be going to Carl's next to do one. It was good fun. I know you're in London, I think, Marcus, you said yesterday, wasn't it? So for those that have joined us, and welcome evening, keep tapping the screen, and if you can, be the 12th man and share the live. But yes, we did a watch along, as we sort of called it, but it was myself, Carl and Andy watching the game through the appropriate methods, through Argyle TV and VPN, it was good fun, although broadband or Virgin killed the broadband for some reason in the area right on the start of kickoff of the second half. So we were 10 minutes behind, which sort of disrupted the live, and we had a lot of people drop out, understandably, because there wasn't anything going on. But we are going to look to do more of that, whether we'll all be in the room together or we'll just be connected and all watching it simultaneously from our locations. But look, we want to bring a bit more difference to what we do on here to others. So, it was a good first try. So, barring any more technical glitches, the game day lives, and also when I'm at the home park, I do tend to stream as well before kickoff on other, said platforms. Always trying to bring some content to the game. So, Kieran James, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Watching Joshua getting sparked out, to be fair, I sort of woke up this morning and forgot about the fight last night, and watched. I
don't know what was worse, Joshua's performance or Liam Gallagher's singing.
Oh, I haven't seen the video. They did share that.
I'm kind of glad I didn't get tickets now, to be fair, because if he performs like that, I would save my money.
I love it. Well, he is old now. He doesn't quite have the vocals that he used to have. But yeah, I must admit, one of the things that if I paid whatever it is, 20 odd quid now for a box office event, the fact that I could wake up in the morning, go onto the said sports app, and literally just watch all the key highlights pretty good. Literally. Is like, I'm glad I didn't spend the money on it. But then that's what you live the moment for, I suppose. MB got back for the fight, but missed. LG was gutted until I saw a clip, was relieved then. Marcus, yes, I was there. I could sing better than that. Oh, you were there. Nice. That's what you were doing in London then. So Uber driver Jay, thanks for the 3 points. You didn't pick me up earlier, so I don't know how you got 3 points. Okay, West Brom fan. Evening, thank you for popping in anyway. So coming on to sort of Friday's game. Luton, I think, was it 2-1 in the end? Their 2-1 game yesterday?
Yeah, you got a late winning.
So I think what to expect on Friday when we play against them. I was hoping William Carter, who's followed us on our lives was going to be in tonight, unless he joins in a minute. He's a Luton fan, so yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. The fact that it's on TV is great for those who want to watch. Let's hope this time on that TV channel we don't make a mess of it like we did in the first game. So yeah, I think 2 wins back to back for Luton just goes to show again that when they were rock bottom, you can jump up very quickly. I think it will be another good game. So I think they're going to take the same attitude that we took to West Brom after our stutter yesterday to then come and have a go. Andy, what do you reckon? What are your expectations of Luton on Friday?
Sorry about that. I was muted. Quiet. But you were glad I was quiet for a minute. Expectations for Luton. I think we can beat them. If we play the sort of football we played in the last 2 games, we can go and beat Luton. I think Luton are a good side, physical side, and they've got some big fellas up front. So I think they're going to pose us problems. But I don't see the point. I don't see the reason why we can't beat them. Especially at home park with the 12th man. Got a good chance. He's got to pick the right team, and would he bring Tijani in for that? Because Luton won't know much about Tijani. And will he bring in Femi? It all depends on who he chooses, really. I'm hoping he's going to pick a strong team. We just go at them. I think Whittaker. I'd drop Whittaker. Would anyone agree with me about dropping Whittaker at the minute?
Ooh, I tell you what, it's interesting you say that, because I think we said when the subs were happening, one of us sort of said, is he taking Whittaker off? And he hadn't. I'm going to say, I'm not going to completely disagree with you if he doesn't get or isn't taking the chances, that he had yesterday. But who would you pit on in place of him, or how would you change it up if you did drop him, Andy?
I'd almost bring Freddie Asaka in. Again, an unknown entity. He's a keen little player. He wants to play. I just think Whittaker at the minute is not firing. He got that one goal against QPR and the sort of fluke against Sunderland, but I don't think he's really firing. I think he's frustrated at the minute. Is he playing in the wrong position? Is he just I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm not sure what's going on in his mind. Maybe that Burnley fan's right.
Possibly. I think it was Drew. If I'm correct in remembering, who said maybe it's a transfer talk going on. Yeah, the Burnley fan just sort of was like, I heard we were. Actually, that's an interesting one, because that Burnley fan said, I don't really know much about him. So they obviously weren't keen to not really know too much about Whittaker, the fact that he was linked. I mean, Carl, would you then consider dropping him if he's not really having a great game against Luton?
I can see where Andy's coming from, and to a certain extent, I kind of agree. But even though we can have 88 minutes of having a really poor game, you just know if he gets that one chance, you know what he's going to do with that left foot. That's the only thing. But if the games keep going on and he's still putting in poor performances and the goals aren't coming, then I suppose you're going to have to look at trying to change it. But it's not so much dropping him, it's who do you play in place of him? Because if you play a Saka, that's not his correct side either, is it? You can't swap.
Carl. I mean, you say one chance. I mean, that's probably what he's getting in the game. One chance, and not putting him away.
But one chance can win a game. We've seen it enough this season.
Right.
Like the QPR goal, you got. It only takes one chance to win a game, but you can't keep carrying players if it happens time and time again. So
I think I get a point.
You're going to have to give someone else a chance, aren't you?
I think I'd argue the point, Carl, right, that 2 of the goals that Whittaker has scored have been hit out of frustration. And certainly the first one against
Maybe needs to do that more then.
And the second one he hit against Sunderland, all right, he hit it well, but he parried onto the bar and went in after the defender. So
it's a hard one, isn't it? He reminds me a lot like Rashford for United. He's a massive confidence player. And if he doesn't have a good game, his head drops, and that can go on and on and on. Very similar to Marcus. Rashford, not Marcus in the chat. But he's very similar to that. And I think he needs to get a few goals kind of in succession to bring his confidence up. And if he doesn't get that, he struggles. And we've been man-marked every game by 2 players. It's very difficult for him.
Yeah, I think sort of looking at the two comments, MB saying he would have taken Whittaker off over Sissoko. I'm not going to totally disagree with that, and Marcus agreeing with what I said earlier that it will be interesting to see how Whittaker plays when Haj starts.
Yeah.
And I think, but again, it doesn't mean to say that if that's the case on Friday, that again, if Whittaker's really not getting much from it, that he then probably could take him off and bring someone back on. Maybe even mix it up a bit, and it depends on where we're getting the possession and where we're getting the balls from, isn't it? That's really in the game.
It is a good point by Marcus, though. Whittaker really hasn't been the same since Azaz left, and I think he's missing that. So if he doesn't improve when El Hadj comes in, then questions need to be asked, I think.
Yeah, Blaz, let's bring you back in again. So, would you be sort of pitting Whittaker on your sort of list to sort of say, might need to consider dropping him, in the next couple of games?
I'll keep an eye on him, but if that doesn't work, potentially try him in a different role, so like potentially behind the striker or even at striker, just because he has got a very good finish on him. Just try getting the ball, or even just having jump into the midfield, give him that freedom to run through the midfield.
Yeah, I think that's another interesting one, isn't it? Because one of the things that we haven't touched upon it tonight actually, but one of the things that Rooney does let some of the players do is just sort of move around a little bit and change up some of the positions. And maybe you're right. Sort of maybe bringing Whittaker more into a central role. I think you were saying Draco or JB or whatever you're referring to. Sorry if I was mistaken, but in terms of is there a different position? He's getting marked out on the right, so you've got to do something. But if Haj can move the ball quickly, like Azaz did, you won't give those defenders time to gang up on Whittaker. And I think there's a lot of occasions recently where he has sort of had to come back into his own half to pick up the ball to then try and do something with it. And normally he's a threat when he's running onto that ball and down that channel. So we just lost Blaz. He's gone offline. I can see Rise joined us as well tonight. I have invited him, but the fact that he said he's in a little bit of pain is probably why he's not dropping in. Why not try Whittaker as a false nine? Yeah, again, that's probably pretty much what Blaz was alluding to there. What's the C11 West Bromwich Albion fan? We love you, Albion. We love you, Albion. We love you, Albion. We love you, Albion. We love you.
I think there's an echo in Birmingham.
You're top of the league, so absolutely enjoy it. Blaz's TikTok crashed, like you, Andy, having technical issues tonight. So I'm just going to pick up on Luton's sort of past results in the let me just switch from there we go. So they started off against Burnley, which was always going to be a tough one with them coming back down, both of them coming back down. They lost 4-1 to them, which was at home. Portsmouth away was then a 0-0. Then they played Preston away and lost 1-0. I think that was the result after Lowe left, was it? And then they had QPR at home, which QPR beat them 2-1. And then Millwall away, where they won 1-0. That was their first win when we beat Sunderland. And then yesterday they went 1-0 down in the first half, but then came back to win it 2-1. I'm just going to have a look at the match stats on that out of interest, just to see if it gives us any sort of initial insights.
Hopefully this time I don't crash.
An excellent fan wanting to come and talk to us, Mike. What do you think?
Nah, not right now.
No, I don't think so. We don't take League One fans on here.
Yeah, only Championship. Sorry, mate.
Especially once you have half a stand.
Yeah, exactly. Jack Southall, good evening. We've been talking about the game for a while now, but impressed, even though, and frustrated because we probably should have got a point. So Luton's game against Sheffield Wednesday, shots on target. Wednesday had 7 to Luton's 4. So possession was 57 in favour of Luton, actually. Obviously they were.
That's really interesting, Mike. So I'm looking at a BBC Sport and it's got completely different numbers.
I'm on live score, so I'm just going to read out what's on live score. A lot of corner kicks to them, a lot of throw-ins, keeper saves. So their keeper sort of looks like sort of 6 saves, possibly. I don't know how good those were. I haven't seen their highlights. But I think, it's definitely winnable. And I think it's a game that, we should be able to really take to Luton, and upset the apple cart of not giving them 3 good results on the bounce. Blaz, what do you reckon for the game on Friday night? Score prediction?
2-1 Argyle with, I'm going to say, Suit and Randall.
Oh, okay, interesting. I'll tell you what, that's what we didn't see yesterday was a shot from Zooks like he did against Sunderland that led to the save that got Edwards to slot it for the winner. So I definitely would like to see more of those hits with the pace that he can get behind the ball. So Andy, what do you think score predictions for the Luton game?
I'm going to go for a 3-1 Argyle win. Because I think we're playing much, much better football, and we're starting to play the football that we saw under Schumacher at the beginning of last season. Getting back to that now, and I can see that. I can see what they're trying to do, and Wasball is doing all right. They're playing the style that he wants to implement at Birmingham, for instance, and they didn't adopt it. So I think we're going to go and win 3-1. There you go. And I'm going to say for my goal scorers, I'm going to say Adam Randall, Hardy on the spot, and Morgan Whittaker. There you go.
Yeah, and Carl, your prediction for Friday night?
I'm going to go for a 3-0 Argyle win of a Whittaker hat-trick, just to see Andy's face.
Like a Norwich game then. So I'm going to go 2-0.
Would love it, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go for a 2-0. And I'm going to take a gamble and say a comfortable 2-0. Can you say that in the Championship? God, that's brave.
No.
But I think it's a game where I don't see us conceding in that game. Sort of looking at that. I didn't do this earlier, but just looking at the stats, on live score again, if you're not on BBC with Carl, but of the game yesterday. So shots on target 4 apiece. When you consider 3 of those were hit the woodwork for West Brom. The 4th one went in. So impressive. Shots off target, West Brom had 10 to our 8. That was evident because it was end-to-end at times.
That's really strange because BBC Sport have got it completely wrong, or live score have. What did they give for possession overall?
52 to Argyle.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Luton and Sheffield Wednesday.
No. Just reverted back to the Argyle West Brom stats now. So, according to live score, Argyle holding a bit of the possession, but again, it was probably more around that 50-50, which is not far from anyway, in fairness. So, the referee I didn't have any issues with. I didn't recall seeing any major incidents or concerns. So,
a good game.
Yeah, for once, that was pretty good. So I think for Luton, I think it will be hopefully a good game for the TV, and I think we'll sort of really start. If Rami starts, I'd like to think that we will control the ball a bit more and boss it a bit more in midfield, but. We have got to be careful because we can get stung very easily at home with an early goal, and then we end up being on the back foot. Even if we do get the result, but I'm going to sort of say I think Grimshaw and the team are going to keep, if I can put my teeth back, a clean sheet. Just looking at some of the comments besides the fan on the road.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, just literally I was about to read that one out. It'd be interesting if he does go straight back in. I think you almost have to, don't you? Because when opportunity arises, you don't, if you're in management and he's young like he is, you don't want to sort of miss out. But he did say he was going to take some time out, didn't he? Just to sort of.
I think that's a good move, to be fair, because I think if he doesn't take an early decision, he might then not get many Championship jobs. I think Cardiff would be a good move for him, to be fair.
Do you know what? I'd get him back here as really second-hand man.
That is an option. That is an option, Andy. Or he could give the teas out.
Yeah.
You can sell pasties.
Yeah, that's it. Down at the Hyde Park, passing a pint for a
Rooney.
So, let's have a look at. So I'm just going to, before I think we're sort of coming to the end of tonight's, but I'm just going to look at the league table. So of course, in first place, we do have West Brom still. Sunderland obviously got the win back against Borough in their derby, for those that call it a derby. So we're winning 1-0. Burnley. Then followed by Blackburn, obviously, who we got Burnley and Blackburn after Luton. So this is probably, this little group of games is probably the toughest we're going to have for a little while. Sheffield United in 5th, Leeds in 6th, and who got a result, I think, yesterday, and Swansea in 7th. And then the bottom end of the table now is Cardiff City in 24th, followed by Portsmouth, who equally aren't having a great start to the season. Sheffield Wednesday, who then close out the relegation spots, followed by Preston. So it was great with, Lowe sort of walked out really effectively, didn't he? And then ourselves in 20th. So, but as we say, it only takes a win and you're going to be right back up there in the mid-table again. So at this stage of the season, it's still very, very open. Ashley Bailey, good evening. Thank you for joining in. Well done, guys. Best team so far that's been to the Hawthorns this season. Yeah, appreciate that. Ashley, it was a great game to watch. And like we've said, just, frustrating to not at least get a point. MB, lots of winnable games in October. Let me just have a quick look at that. If I can go back to ourselves quickly. I hate these international breaks. So what have we got after the Blackburn game? So where are we? So we jumped from the 5th of October to the 19th after the international break. And that first game is away to Cardiff. And then we've got Millwall away, two away games back to back, Saturday and Tuesday night, looks like. And then we're home to Preston North End on the 26th. Yeah, so absolutely winnable. Even the Leeds and Portsmouth following that as well. There's a lot of winnable games in there before Christmas. So will Rooney get sacked before Christmas? No chance.
He won't.
No chance. No chance. So, right, final thoughts I'm going to do now. So, Carl, do you want to give your final thoughts?
Regarding the game coming up or the West Brom game?
Anything to close out, my friend?
I think it's been a positive last few games. I think that us being clinical is slowly getting there, and I think we'll see more of that coming to fruition, hopefully on Friday when El Hadj comes into midfield, because I think he's going to offer us a lot.
Yeah,
I've seen from him so far, which is no disrespect to Callum, because I still think there's a player in there, but I just don't think he's quite good enough to give us the service that we need. More than happy for him coming off the bench. I think that could be a decent role for him. I still think he's got something to offer from that position, but yeah, let's hope we can try and get another point or 3 on the board on Friday. I mean, I was joking about us probably winning 3-0 with Whittaker hat-trick. I just want us to see us put another strong performance and hopefully see some goals. I mean, it's not going to be easy. Luton have won back-to-back games. They haven't won them comfortably. Obviously, I think they only got one against Millwall. Only just got past Sheffield Wednesday, who were down to 10 men for the last 20 minutes. So,
were they? Wow, okay, yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday got a red card. I mean, if we take the lead, I feel confident that we can try and hold on to it and maybe push for more. But I think if we go 1-0 down, I still think we're strong enough to come back like we did against Sunderland. So, I can't wait for our first night game as well. And I'm always I'm also partial to a light show. I do like them.
The LED light display.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So cheers for that, Carl.
I just want to put in there about JB as well, because we haven't really talked about JB, and I think game by game he's really starting to impress me now. I think early on in the season he looked quite poor, probably because of his fitness wasn't there, but he's got really strong the last few games, and the longer the games have gone on as well, he's got stronger. So yeah, really impressed by him.
Yeah, so it's a fair shout, to be fair. He didn't have the best of first halves against Sunderland, neither did Sissoko, and the team were a bit disjointed in that one. Whereas, this, again, with Forshaw, they both, linked up really well going forward, backtracking. JB has definitely settled into things, and he's not lacking confidence to take a shot. So go on, Blaz. Were you trying to say, what's your final thoughts, mate, before we sign off?
I feel like Freddie needs to be back in the squad for Luton.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll completely disagree. See if he can come on and bring a spark to the game if it needs a spark still by that time. Evening, Plymouth Argyle Master, fellows, long lost father. I'm trying to read that and it's disappeared.
Hopefully, Grammy Al-Hajj is in the starting 11 for them as well. Then hopefully, Grammy's starting. Because from the start we've seen from off the bench, he's looked like he can be one. He'll be brilliant.
Yeah, we shall see. Andy, then to final thoughts from yourself.
Yeah, I just think Barry Mumba needs to do a little bit more. He did one on Saturday, to be fair, but he needs to do a little bit more. And I also think that who else was I thinking? Callum Wright needs to do a little bit more. Yeah, I'm a big Wright fan, but he needs to do a lot more. He did all right coming on Saturday. Yesterday, I felt though. To be fair to him, being critical of in previous sessions. Yeah, he did, but we need a bit more from him. We need to, he's got that threat to put the ball into the box, to play players in, but the players got to run for him, and people like Whittaker got to run for him. And you said you saw that sort of, he wanted to pass to Whittaker, and he was telling them where to go, but Whittaker didn't go there. And it's like, so they got to get back on wavelength again. I don't know.
I'm just really jealous of his hair.
We're getting better and better, I think. Every day and in every way, we're getting better and better. Just to get the ball in the onion bag, mate, a bit more.
Yeah, no, don't disagree. I mean, sort of for me, sort of like I said, it was, and I'm still frustrated even now. But I think but the great thing is I'm frustrated because we're playing so well now that everything's settled a bit. The way Rooney likes to play, the players are sort of starting to find their feet with that now. We're creating chances. We look solid in defence. That back four. I saw Marcus make a comment earlier about we could even switch things up a little bit with the comments that we were discussing about Whittaker. Maybe putting Sissoko on his side, bringing Mumba up to that left wing and bringing Galloway into left back. That's all options that that are on the table that we can play with. Fellows, no, we didn't go to the West Brom game. The guy that joins us at times, Harvey England, does go to the away games, but he's unable to come on tonight, which is a shame because it's always good to get people that were at the game to give their views as well. But yeah, look, so it's positive. We're still progressing. It's great football to watch in the best league in the world right now by a country mile. So for me, I think another confident display on Friday against Luton and 3 more points would be absolutely fantastic. Kelly, thank you for the gifts there. And you know what? We will suddenly start climbing, but as Marcus said, we're playing like a mid-table team, not a relegation side, but you can never take anything for granted in this league. So everybody, thank you for all the likes tonight and joining us, whether you stuck with us from the start, like a lot of you have, or come to us at the end. We do this every game, so we do a post-match analysis. If it's a Saturday game, it's generally Sunday evening that we'll do that. Friday night, gents, we'll pick this up in WhatsApp afterwards, but it's probably going to have to be a Sunday. If not, late on Friday when we all get home, but we'll probably be very tired because I'm out Saturday night, but we'll probably do it Sunday and we'll probably preview it as well on Wednesday night. So we tend to do previews and post-match analysis and some of us, myself, Andy, Carl, are always live at times throughout the week as well when we can, doing whatever we're doing. So thank you all for tonight. Andy, Blaz, Carl, thank you for joining in. And do you know what, guys? We shall see you next time. Cheers, folks.
Thanks, guys. Go easy. Take care, Blaz, Green Giant.